Hi there, thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel and watching some cool videos. I make sure I provide you content daily. Um, and again, if you're not a subscriber, please do so right now. Okay, Perry Stone. I have not done this a video about Perry Stone. Okay, is a big voice in the evangelical movement. He goes to Israel a lot and does programming from there as well. He comes on TV, has almost like 500,000 followers on YouTube. Um, so, what I'm going to talk about is he talks a lot about prophetic. All right, he gives a lot of prophetic events, prophetic word. He sometimes have visions or dreams. And one thing I like, he makes it clear in one of the videos, one of the events he had. It's like, I am not a prophet, but I do function in the prophetic, and I get prophetic dreams, prophetic visions, things like that. So you can watch Perry Stone YouTube, and he has a lot of content there about what's coming. There's one he talks about there'll be earthquake and tsunami coming to the United States. That is a recent video that he made like this week. So I'm kind of researching that. But today he talks about the elections, he talks about Trump, he talks about Biden. That's why I'm doing this video, okay? So I have not seen a video from him that's where he prophesied that Trump will win the election. So I haven't found a video like that. There are other words he has given that alludes to that, but there's no direct video that I can find, and I can tell you that he did prophesy that, like many of the people that are featured on these who give false prophecies, like Chris Young, um, um, Kat Kerr, so many of them you can find who gave false prophecies about Trump winning the second term, right? And they say like God told them, which is not true. But Perry Stone um, is tangled up in between. All right, one, like many evangelical leaders, I think is confused about what happened because everybody thought Trump is going to win the election. The reason he gives as why Trump, at least he acknowledges that, didn't win, could have won in a landslide, is because of the pandemic, coronavirus. He said the economy was booming, everything was good, Trump was on the path to be reelected, and all of a sudden the coronavirus struck. Of course, he didn't take it very seriously. He undermined it. His own advisors told him this is the big threat to your presidency. But he was arrogant, I guess. But hey, let's listen to what Perry Stone starts saying, and then I'll provide commentary as we go.
Very special teaching on our YouTube channel. Everyone in the United States that has kept up with the news in any form, whether it's on the internet, through the news organizations, or cable or satellite, knows that there has been a great controversy and a lot of confusion surrounding the election. It seems as though the states of either which Biden was going to clearly win or Trump would clearly win were able to get their votes in the same evening and pretty much calculate them and count them, and within, let's say, 48 hours had everything settled. It was very strange, however, that the states that President Trump would have to have, the battleground states, as they call them, all have controversies connected with either ballots being counted late at night, double ballots or ballots being counted twice, machines that...
So he's now in the political punditry right now. We just went through that, okay? It started well, like everybody's confused about what's happening. And then he says, it's strange. Somehow, the states that Trump needed to win, they have some controversy. Ballots be counted twice, or double count, he calls it. And then he goes to the machines. Those are unfounded allegations. I mean, it's not true. And then he talks about counting them at night. Yes, they were counting through. And it was also because of the pandemic. Lots of ballots were coming in. And you understand, some of the states could not count the votes until election day. Okay? Until the close of the poll closes. And these are thousands and millions of ballots. So he's misled. Is you know where he's going with this.
Switched over votes, and it's so interesting to see
Machine switched over votes. That is not true.
that, because you have to ask yourself, was there a conspiracy somehow involved in the election? Now, there's so much overload on the internet, either for the idea of a conspiracy.
So he's just gonna do the dog whistles, raising suspicion, raising all these things in your mind so that you try to think about, although he cannot provide any evidence.
Or against it, that I'm not going to take the time to go into that because I'm not the specialist in that field. I believe, though, I am a specialist on understanding the times and seasons as it relates to prophecy and the Bible. And so I remember several years ago when President Bush was running for president against Al Gore, and everything came down to one state, the state of Florida, and they were counting Chads, and they were counting and recounting and counting and recounting. And I remember hearing people say that Bush.
Okay, so we're just gonna skip a little bit. It talks about Bush-Gore elections, but my main point with this video, I've watched it several times, the whole thing, and he's raising questions. And in the end, he talks about this: what if the incoming president Biden was illegitimate? You know, he didn't win. You know, he raises all this, then he goes into the Bible. Of course, he's trying to raise suspicion about the whole thing. All right. So I'm showing you guys this because a lot of evangelical leaders, faith leaders, are in denial, and they're trying to explain Trump's loss. You know, they are confused and they're not sure what to do or what's going to happen. So let's skip it a little.
Honestly, we're glad Bush is in, and here's the reason why. If owned by no one, he knows how to effectively negotiate. And coronavirus, had it not hit, he would have absolutely, hands down, been elected in a major landslide. But the coronavirus affected people's thinking, their idea, the fear from the news media. All these things were a combination to change the outcome, along with possibly the voter machines and other aspects as well.
There is no evidence that voter machines changed the votes, swapped the votes. Coronavirus makes sense, but it was up to the president to show courage and not to undermine it and do something about it. Okay? It's not all the fault of the virus. No, as a leader, you have responsibility to make sure like you can handle that and protect your people. So Perry Stone is trying to dance around and trying to bring context and trying to go to scripture and explain it and find answers. But I'm just showing you guys how much the evangelical Christians, faith leaders, the prophets, the teachers, the pastors that wanted Trump to win, they are having a hard time trying to put everything into context, to explain Trump's loss, So that's my thought. Those are my thoughts. So tell me what you guys think about that. Let's have a conversation online and leave me a comment. Thanks so much for watching.